Howdy, folks. I am Charlie, and this is Maker's Mashup. I apologize for the delay. Having contact lens issues, and I could see real clear out of one eye and blurry out of the other, and that was hard to go with. So we are here, and I have although I haven't been using this format very long for the show of the Maker's Mashup, I've spent time trying to think of who the heck am I going to highlight this show. And then I got to thinking, I've never highlighted the show. I mean, the panel members. And the panel members do change off and on. And there are a few folks that I won't name that I want to apologize to because I haven't been myself lately mentally. And I know that's leaving me open for a lot of jokes, but I'm being dead serious. So I haven't thought of everybody that's ever been on the panel. So there are times I forget to send invites out to certain people. It is not personal. I'm just not all there. And that is a joke, but personally serious. But that being said, I've introduced the panel, but I've never taken the time to have them show their history of stuff they've made if they haven't. For the record, I'll let the panel know what it is left to right so that they will be prepared. First is going to be, you don't have to introduce yourself yet, but so that you know where you are in line, I have David Gunn first, Rob Austin second, John Schaffner third, Paul Corliss fourth, Russ Clarity, not allowed to play with us, fifth. We have Lee Knight in sixth, Shane and Shelley seventh and eighth, and I'm not doing it because the show is not going to be about me. You know what I mean. I wanted this for them. And I know Russ is trying to think of so many things. Well, we don't want to see your stuff no ways. Anywho, I'm going to see how mature I can be for this show, but don't hold your breath. So rather than going down go ahead, Russ. I know you're itching to say something.
Okay. I'm not going to say a word.
All right. He's going to wait till it. Okay. Rather than ask anybody to introduce themselves first, I'm going to have each person introduce themselves and then do their show and tell. And if you need help learning how to screen share, if it involves sharing pictures, just let me know and I will walk you through it. And I'm sure the viewers will understand. First up, we have Mr. David Gunn. Go ahead and unmute yourself and you'll be presenting first. And I will remove the panel. Not literally, I'm just going to move them out of your way. So that
Hi, can you hear that fan in the background? You got me good?
No, I cannot hear it. Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I can hear you.
All right, I'll speak louder. Is that better?
A little bit, but still a little low. But just strain your ears, folks. I'll shut up long enough to let you talk. This is Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where they can find you if you don't mind, please. First, David.
Name's David Gunn, DLG Woodwork. I'm most active on Instagram. I used to make YouTube videos, and I just haven't in a couple of months. I've got 4 about halfway done, but find me on Instagram, DLG Woodwork.
10-4.
I've got 3 different projects to show, just different things. The first one is this little pineapple. The reason I love this is my daughter made this. She drew the pineapple on a piece of paper, put it on a piece of wood, cut it out on a scroll saw, painted it, glued it to this little stand, and she made that.
See, that's cool to me because anybody with kids,
she's 12.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm a dad myself. And
no, go ahead.
My daughter's 19, and anybody that's a parent that actually likes their kids, because there's some that don't. Anyway, you can't put a value on that kind of stuff because you can have the finest furniture, the finest decorations and everything, but that little handprint drawing on the fridge or the ashtray, even if you don't smoke and stuff like that, you can't put a value on it. So I'm sorry for stealing the thunder on that whole topic, but that's very nice, and give my compliments to your daughter. And back to you, sir.
I'll tell her. I'm trying to encourage her to start a YouTube channel, like with her making things, because she's all the time working. Anyway, that's a different deal. The second one is this lamp. My most watched YouTube video is this. Not turn my cat to see.
I'm getting a crick in my neck trying to follow.
There we go.
Oh, that is cool, dude. Do you have plans for that?
Wood Magazine does. It was on the cover of Wood Magazine. They made one out of walnut, and I made this one out of cherry.
That is beautiful.
They've got plans, and you can buy the blown up drawings, but I just used graph paper and traced it out and cut out the different shapes. But yeah, that's my most watched video, which that's not saying a lot. I've got a small channel, but
that's one
of my favorite
unique
projects.
It's got kind of a modern look to it. Anybody on the panel, you're welcome. If anybody on the panel wants to comment, you're free to. I'm not trying to steal it all. Is that
I used to have a different shade, but this is just a piece of curly walnut veneer for the lampshade, and it's that thin.
Okay, is that a tap light or one of those recessed ceiling lights? Okay, it is one of those tap lights.
It in and out. Yeah, it's a little hockey puck style. It's got 3 AAA batteries or AA batteries.
That is too cool. Absolutely.
So that's a cool project that I made. And the last one is something that's always hard to see, hard to photograph, hard to video, is a mirror. But I love it.
If you could talk just a bit louder.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it looks like walnut, but I've been wrong before.
It's live edge walnut. And it's got some of the prettiest grain I've ever seen with walnut.
That is pretty darn cool. Can you try to talk louder? People are having trouble hearing you. I don't know. There might be a control room where I can turn your volume up. So let me try to do that. David Gunn.
Let me see. I'm trying here.
David Gunn, I will turn your volume up. Okay, test.
Test. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I turned your volume up in the control room. Okay. That should have helped.
It's a mirror I made. It's basically one board, one live edge board that I cut in half and put a mirror between. And the back's real simple. It's just 3 boards screwed to the top and bottom. The mirror sandwiched in between.
The only problem with that mirror is that we saw your nice legs and your flip flops.
I ain't got shoes on. I live in Arkansas. Can't you tell where I live?
Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were wearing flip flops. Okay. So I can't tease you quite as hard. No, I really like that. The mirror and the lamp. The lamp is so simple, yet it has kind of a modern look to it, in my opinion. And the choice of wood almost gives it a rustic look. That's just my opinion. Anybody on the panel is welcome to say something. Hello.
Yeah, do you have a special purpose for that mirror laying on the ground like that? Is that so you can see the people work?
Yeah, that mirror hangs in my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
But for tonight's purposes, it's in my shop, and that's just leaned against the workbench. So, no, yeah, I don't have a foot thing or anything. I'm not into that.
I was going to ask, but I was.
to each his own.
No, that mirror hangs about this high in my shop. It's 6'2". It's eye level with me, so it's 6'2", Charles.
Yeah, that's what it is. By God, he's a tall fella. Also, FYI for the panel, you don't have to have. If you either didn't know what the theme of the show was, you do not have to have everything you've ever made that you want to show right there with you. You can also screen share photographs, and I believe that's what at least one person's going to do that we've already discussed. But if you don't know how, just let me know. But I'm going to run. Thank you, David, for doing that. If you don't mind muting yourself, just because of how audio likes to work, we're going to move on over to Raw Boston. Tell everybody where they can find you, and then show us all your stuff. That can take the whole show.
You come here on Friday night or to Russ's place on Saturday. Otherwise, you'll have to find me on Facebook. I do not have a YouTube channel, but with Gwinnett Woodworking, I've probably been in 40 or 50 different videos there, but not my personal ones. I have absolutely no interest of being a YouTube star, but it'd be hard for me to walk around. I can walk around this whole shop and give you a guided tour. The main thing we did tonight, I made a birdhouse. It was for a birdhouse contest, and we were supposed to have done this. Been working on it for the last couple of weeks, but I was out of town. Traveling.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I went to visit my son last week, and I was going to come back earlier, but we had an opportunity on Wednesday to go out and watch Air Force One launch and
that.
So I much preferred that. I got a lot of pictures, so if you want a screen share, I'll show you the pictures of Air Force One. I have a great one of Melania Trump walking up, well, when she turned around, you know, getting on the top of the ladder. And,
Which side were you looking at?
Well, she was walking up the ladder. I
can't control which way she walks.
Yeah, I was taking pictures. If she backed up the ladder, it would have been a more decent picture for people. But
of course.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to erase them after I had them there. But
yeah.
Anyway, I will be glad to show you the birdhouse. It took me like 45 minutes today. I had to, as a vice president of the club, I have to come up with all the classes for Saturday. You know, the schedule. So if I schedule something like a birdhouse contest, I should at least make something. And usually I make 2 or 3. I had a great one planned out and all the different things, but like I said, I haven't been there for the last week, so I didn't get a chance to it. But let me go over and show you this. I am not sure if I can. Oh yeah, if I look at this camera, I can see exactly where I'm going.
I know you don't like to show off your shop, but you know, if it happens to show while we're looking at the birdhouse.
This was one another guy made today, you know, for the contest. I'm sure he's going to win, not me.
That's actually kind of. I've never seen I was going to say that's all one deal, right? Yeah. Yeah,
it's all one solid piece, but you know they have you know, they can go in from like 4 different entrances. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different entrances. So you can have actually 4 sets of birds in there.
So are they separated from each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all separate compartments. And this is
a condominium.
I am going to leave the tape on there and tell them it was last minute. The glue didn't dry. It actually did. It only took a half hour to make this thing. So it was nothing special. And
that first birdhouse is a condominium.
Well, you know, the guy made something like that, and he had some plans. He didn't actually have plans. He had a person that had one in their yard that was all falling apart. I mean, it was completely, he had a hard time getting it apart without sections coming off. So we took pictures of it, and he made it. And then this one he made strictly off of memory. We didn't have any plans. We just started cutting boards and put them in there. So it turned out really nice.
I was trying to come up with a bird pun, and I couldn't think of nothing besides that's tweet.
Yes. But
sorry.
And, well, but look at the stuff we've made here. Everything in here we made in the shop.
Rock and roll. Yeah, I saw those bandsaw boxes up top. Those are kind of cool. I've never tried that, and I ended up selling my bandsaw like an idiot. Sorry, that's about you. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I've made a lot of bandsaw boxes, but when you get done with them, they don't hold much. They were fun to make, but after that, I was happy just to get rid of them. And that was Mrs. Makita.
Yeah. You didn't make her, though, right?
I had nothing to do with that. But I was up at Kintec, and she was up there one day and just signed an autograph, and she made it out to the daycare for adults. And I don't know if anybody, this is the table itself. We made this, and it's like a curio table. The top opens up, and I put money exchanged from all over the world on the top. You know, I've been to 30-something countries, and every time I go there, I exchange it for their money, and then when I got ready to leave, I just keep some, and so that was there. That table was made there. I don't want to bore you. Cool. I don't want to bore you to death. This is a chop saw stand, and I can't really see if I'm on it or not.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, the sides open up as wings, which makes it even with the saw. You know, there's one on each side. This was a router table. That was one of the first things we made. We actually made it and finished it at another guy's shop so we could use it as soon as we opened up the shop here. And then we have wood storage and stuff over here. And this table here, outfeed table, you know, that's a torsion box. We made that. We actually went to a place called Metal Supermarket and got the metal, cut the legs, welded them together, and made all that. I'm really happy I have talented friends that can do that. This was a monster make with all these drawers and, you know, on both sides. Then there's a gap between. There's a gap between top and bottom there where you can clamp to it. So if you want to clamp something down, you know, we can put that in there. And this is what we've been working on for a while. We've got one done. This one, we just have to finish gluing it up and staining it. We're going to finish it up next week. But we've been working for a while on these benches. We're making 2 of them that we're going to donate to the hospital system.
Yeah, for those that haven't heard the story, that the trees that were either died or were taken down outside the hospital, that's what those benches are made out of.
Yeah, we made those. We made 2 of these, and we made a lot of canes. These are some of the canes that were on there that we made. This is just some of them I didn't give them to. We gave about 98 the first time a year ago, and this year we gave her about 87, 88 that we gave to the VA. This is just some of the wood storage. You know, it used to look really organized, and now I've lost patience, and these ends here are just thrown together. You know, it doesn't look too good.
There's a big reason I don't give a shop tour of my shop.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest things. I got a lot of talented friends that can make furniture. This cabinet here, I really liked. You know, this is for drill press. You know, with that type of drill press, you can't go down too low because you hit the cabinet. But you can wheel that thing out from there. But it has the 4 drawers in the front here. You know, and they're all filled up with drill bits. You know, this one splits, so it's actually, you know, 2 there, 3, 4. That worked out really great. And this is the area for all the turning. Now, as a Saturday class, we made these shelves here. We made 2 sets, one for the left, one for the right, just for putting things on. And this is a cabinet we made, which I really like that because it had everything's got dovetails in the shop. We very much would get criticized if we make anything here that we didn't use proper, you know, proper mortars, tenons, and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And let me go around the other side without getting you too dizzy, so don't stare too much at your screen for a second.
All right.
Oh, this is getting so boring.
I was trying to make it as boring as I could.
A couple of people in
That's
the
our friendly
chat.
co-host.
A
Go
couple
ahead,
people
Paul.
in the chat want to know more about your calendar.
Oh, crud.
Okay. These are just some of the pictures on the walls of the things that were made. Most of these were made in here. You know, and a lot of it's military related. You know, this is one of Steve Good's patterns, but I really like, you know, well, maybe that's not his. Actually, it's not. But, and this is a cabinet that has all kinds of stuff. And most of the stuff in here, a lot of it's made by other people. I'd rather see what they made than what I did. You know, so I have more of it on display. This wall is just a regular military I Love Me wall. Everything's military related on there.
That's funny. My dad has an I Love Me room.
Yes, yes. I think most military people do.
Probably.
And the last time, this was vanity and stuff that we made that when we came in here. You know, the plumber came into us one day, and I'll go ahead and put this back up. Plumber came in one day
showing
and
us
said,
what you made in the toilet.
If I did, I didn't do anything special with it afterwards.
All right.
Okay, now that everybody's bored there, you're on your own.
Okay, let me unpresent you. Is that even a word, unpresent? Thank you very much, Rob. And if the show runs long, so be it. I don't want anybody to get left out or feel rushed. And thank you very much for that, Rob. John Schaffner does not appear to be at his who's or what's it, so I'm going to move on over. Oh, there you are. Okay, he just didn't want to be seen. Okay. John, I'm going to go ahead and present you, sir. And you are ready. Go ahead and introduce yourself if you don't mind.
John Schaffner from Canastota, New York. You can find me on Facebook under my name. And if you really are bored, you can catch a couple of videos on my YouTube channel. So with that, I am going to screen share a slideshow that I have going on here, I think.
And for?
You can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's get to it. Figure out how the hell to do this. There we go. All right.
That is neat.
This is some little shelves that I threw together, different colors. I had a Etsy store for a while, and I sold these on Etsy. And they're just small 12-inch shelves. Then I got the 18-inch version. The back is actual tongue and groove beadboard that I made myself.
Wow.
Some I think it's
Is that Purple Heart right there, or is it just the way the light
no,
looks?
it's painted.
Oh, okay, okay.
These are candy dispensers that I've made over the years. Sold 1 billion of them.
Cool.
Oak and maple and cherry and some black walnut ones. They were actually my best seller on Etsy.
Hey, if you got those beans for that candy dispenser, could you send that to me so I can make that?
Sure, no problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
These are some berry basket mini clocks that I made quite a number of years ago. They sold pretty well. They're quick and easy to cut. You know, there's not much to them. You take an 1 3/8 clock movement, and they're pretty easy to cut, like I said.
And I don't believe Berry Basket's around anymore for the sake of the viewers.
They are under Scroller now.
Scroller Ltd?
Yep.
Okay, that website is scrolleronline.com. Go ahead,
Right.
John.
That would be a lousy picture of a happy Halloween thing I did. Some more. Where the heck did I get those? Winfield collection, I guess they are.
I like that. That's cute.
I'm not that great at painting, but they came out okay.
That's actually very good painting.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
Yeah, I like it.
These stools that I've made, I mean, I've made 1,000 of these things too out of different things. They're like 10 by 14 or something like that, 10 by 12. And they're just great for grandkids. I've still got several around the house that the grandkids use all the time. And I started painting them. I never sold one that was painted. They're all the stained ones that I sold. Don't know why.
Well, one thing I've noticed about everything you've done, and I mean this as a compliment, is everything, for lack of a better word, is somewhat simple, yet you're able to sell a bunch of them. And that's something I think a lot of us, especially me, need to. I mean, like that right there. Some lady's going to want that for her kitchen or bathroom. I mean, it's just the simplest things that can have a look of elegance to them, like that one there. And it's just, you know, because so many of us, especially me, try so hard to have the next Picasso kind of thing, and it doesn't have to be.
Let's see if I can find some of these. Not there, I guess.
Crazy stuff.
Crafty, not crazy.
Oh, I thought it said crazy.
These here are
I told you to wear your glasses, not your contacts.
Oh, kiss it.
my better half is a quilter, and she wanted me to make some quilt racks or quilters roll racks for her. And
Oh, that's unique.
a log cabin key ring. I also do birdhouses and feeders out of those as well.
That is neat.
Little jalopies that I made. The kids love them. I mean, they're all made out of 2x4s or just scrap wood. These dog feeders I made for my dogs actually, and they absolutely love them. I have Yorkies, and these are nice and short, although you can make them bigger.
Yeah.
Another cherry candy dispenser on its side. Oh yeah, that one too.
My dog would try to eat the tray too.
Sure is. That's because they were always my best seller.
If you tilt your head,
These are scroll saw baskets that I got. I don't know, somewhere online somewhere.
I believe Steve
Those
Good
are
has a couple.
Yeah, Steve Good has those patterns.
I like the darkness going through the middle of that.
I said that in the chat and in the private chat to Steve Good.
This one here, I think is hackberry. This one was glued up of. This one was walnut. That one, I can't remember what that one was.
I love the color of that.
That came out really nice.
Welcome to the show, Russ Meadows. We'll get to you. Don't worry.
Or I guess that.
Hey, that one's right side up, by God. Are you still with us, John? Hello, John?
Hello, John.
Okay, well, just so that we don't...
Get out of the John. I mean...
Get out of the John. Hey, John, if you come back, it's no offense. I just, I gotta move on. But thank you for showing everything. If you can hear me, we cannot hear you.
You had a lot of nice stuff.
Yes, he did. And like I was saying, I mean, I didn't mean it as a cut down to say that they were simple, but y'all know what I mean. I mean, I'll give my viewers credit.
I thought you cut him down.
Oh, I can always depend on Russ to back me up.
No, I understand, but when you're saying that, sometimes simple or simplistic is actually looks better than trying to, make it super fancy.
Super artsy, absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome back, John Schaffner. We did catch you before you. Last thing we saw was baskets. I don't know. I still don't know if you can hear us because you're in here twice. But if you don't mind, John, I appreciate you showing everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on oval. Rubbing off on me, Russ. I'm gonna move on over to Paul Corliss. And if you don't mind, please introduce yourself first, sir, and then we will get right into your picture show.
Okay, I'm Paul Corliss. You can find me on YouTube under Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on Instagram on Paul's Messy Workshop. And you can find my website, which is under construction, at paulsmessyworkshop.com. I've got a slideshow to do here in a minute, but one of the things I've made a lot of are these little stools, and they're just made out of scrap with some dowels, and then I weave the top of them. And
how the heck do you do that? The weaving. How do you do that weaving part without going into an hour long? Sorry.
I went on YouTube to find out how.
Well, that's kind of cool. What is that material? That is it like that really frayed up twine stuff?
It's just like to tell you the truth, it's almost like a wound cardboard. I got it at a craft store, and you buy it by the 50 feet or 100 feet, and you soak it in water, and then you weave it, and then when it dries, it gets really taut.
That is too cool. Who knew you could make awesome little things out of cardboard?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Now, let me see if I can figure out, again, how to...
If you need a refresher, I don't mind. It does not make you stupid.
Minimize that.
Mark Lindsay said, in the chat, he says, I tried caning a chair once, and it drove me nuts. So nice work, Paul.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh, I got to share the screen here.
I didn't.
Full screen. Start screen share.
There you go, buddy.
Hey, I knew I could do it.
Absolutely, I had faith in
Okay,
you.
you can see that, can you?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, let's start out here. Like John, I got some patterns from Steve Good, and I made a couple of scroll saw bowls. These are made out of oak with just lacquer finish on them.
Very nice.
This is a scroll saw thing that I did. That was my niece's son, and he had Down syndrome, and he died just before his second birthday. So for my niece, I made that scroll saw picture, and that was the first one I've ever done, and I haven't done one since because that was a lot of work.
That's a heck of a good job for a first one, and I know it may have been a while, but sorry for her loss and your loss, but very cute.
Well, thank you.
You make the frame?
No, I bought the frame at Hobby Lobby.
10-4.
This is a bench I made, and there's storage underneath the seat. And it's just, we keep it in the hallway, and it's a good place to switch from slippers to shoes. And that's all made out of oak, and the box here is made out of oak plywood, oak veneer plywood. But the rest of it is all solid oak.
Pretty cool. Now raise your hand if you thought of Mr. Rogers when he talked about slippers and shoes. Not that anybody can see the panel right now, but
let's see, I got to get to the next one here. Let's see.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
That's a birdhouse I made for somebody's birdhouse challenge a couple years ago.
somebody, it's okay to say his name.
I would.
Oh wow! Equal opportunity advertising.
That's pretty.
That I made that for my granddaughter. That stands about about 5 feet tall, and I made it for her when she was about 6. And then I made the train that sits on top of it too. And that's all made out of pine and. But yeah, I made that for my granddaughter. That's a little bookcase I made that looks like a school bus. My daughter works in the library at her school, and so I made her a little bookcase that looked like a school bus. And those are some candy dispensers that I made. I made one for all my grandkids one year. And those are all made out of oak.
Cool.
Then I made that chair, and that folds up. I forget what that thing is called, but there's a name for that kind of chair. And
a weird-looking chair.
Isn't that called? Dag blabbit.
I think it's called a Kentucky stick chair.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
And
close.
I'll tell you, that thing is really comfortable. I was amazed how comfortable it was.
Well, yeah, because I imagine those diagonal slats that are joining the top and bottom is probably what makes the contour more comfortable.
Yep. And that's all made out of just 2x4 lumber.
That is unique.
My daughter used to do craft shows, so I made her some display screens. That is called a, now I forgot the name of it.
Anti-tuning fork.
No.
Is that one of those things you wrap yarn around?
It is called a lucet.
Oh, he's going to cheat. Okay. He's
It's
going to
called
look at the
a
name.
lucet. And I made that for my granddaughter. And what that's for is you take yarn, and there's a way that you wrap the yarn around the 2 forks, and then by the way you wrap it and unwrap it, it makes into a little rope that comes out through this hole.
Oh, wow. So simple yet so effective.
Yep. And that's a table I made for my planer and my saw for my shop. And I get more views on Facebook over that one project than anything else. Or on YouTube, I mean.
Did you design that yourself?
Yes, I did.
Very
And
nice.
this is a screen that I made for my daughter. It's like a little room divider. And each one of these picture frames comes out, and you can put pictures on both sides. So you can view it from both sides of the screen.
Oh, too cool.
And so all the picture frames come out, and then they come apart, and you can change the pictures in them and then put them back in. And that's just made out of pine.
Very nice.
And that was a project, that screen was a project that I made as I designed it as I went along. Now this is a shadow box that I made for my wife. My wife collects giraffes, and we went to, I was told her I'd build her a shadow box. So we went to Habitat for Humanity, and the Habitat for Humanity store near us sells urban lumber. And so she saw this piece of quarter sawn white oak. So I bought it, and then I made this shadow box out of it.
Jim Bashir wants to know if you have plans for that planer table, flip table.
I have a kind of a SketchUp plan, but it's not very good. And if somebody wants to email me at paulsmessyworkshop@gmail.com, I'll be more than happy to send them that file. And there's enough information there where you could make one.
$59.99. What we're looking at now is a very nice portrait of a guy taking a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my wife holding her shadow box.
Very cool.
And I made this table and chairs. I don't know how many people know this, but every year Mark Spagnolo has a cancer build. And he comes out with a project, and then you build it. And for every one that people build, he donates so much money to different cancer organizations.
Very nice.
Well, I built this 2 years ago, and like I say, my daughter works at the library at her school, so I donated it to the library. And so the kids use that to read at and put puzzles together at. And this, I made this years ago, about 20 years ago, and it's off of a set of plans from Winfield Collection. And Winfield Collection years ago used to have a contest every year where if you built something from a set of plans that they sold, if you won, you would win a Hegner scroll saw. Well, I entered this project in that contest, and that's how I got my Hegner scroll saws. I won first place with this project.
That is sweet. That really is.
Yeah,
I've never seen the plans to that.
Yeah, I made that for my grandson as a toy box.
Wow. Very good paint job on that too. Go ahead, bro.
And that's just a bookcase shelving unit that I made in our family room.
Very nice.
That's a little wheelbarrow I made, all out of cedar. And I think that's the last thing on there. Let me check. Yep, that's the last thing on there.
Well, alrighty then. Bunch of good little stuff there.
That's my projects and
your first public screen share.
And my first public screen share. and hey, there it went. How about that? I made it back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Paul. Russ Meadows, the way we're doing the show is we are, rather than going down the panel, everybody introduce themselves and then getting the show started, I'm letting them introduce themselves and then show their stuff. But to be fair, not to give you crud for being late, because I know things happen, honeydews and all that stuff, I'm going to go ahead and move past you and then come back to you if that's okay with you, sir. And
you let him go next.
Well, I didn't know if he was.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I did not bring me one item to show anyway, so I'd be quick.
Okay, let me go ahead and present you. I was just doing that to be fair. Okay, and you're welcome to screen share pictures if you so choose, but it's completely up to you, and you're freezing. And that never happens on this show. Okay, so this is what Russ would look. That's what Russ would look like if he was sleeping. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, I see you now, Russ.
I hope I stay with you. Y'all keep freezing up on me.
You froze up on us too.
I just brought this one item in. I don't know if y'all can tell what that is.
The Bulldog is, I would assume, it's either a college football team or Marines.
It's actually it's a local school, high school mascot that I just finished sanding a little bit ago. The background is pallet wood. It actually looks like pallet wood, but it's really just, it was a square 12 by 12 block of pine.
Wow.
That I used my scroll saw to cut out the edges and the insides, and I used the CNC to make the pattern. And
that thing really pops.
It does. I spray painted it black and let it sit for a few days. I got a little bit more sanding to do, but this is how it's going to look basically. And what I'm going to end up doing is staining the Bulldog a gold color, golden oak probably, and the studs on the collar are going to be golden oak as well. And then I'm going to set it down. Somebody might want it.
That is really cool.
I'm gonna paint the eyes and the teeth there white, because I made one of these a couple of years back. I made it entirely by hand, and I gave it away. A little kid in town wanted it, so I gave it to him. And so
By
I
God,
got
you don't tell a kid no.
I didn't tell him no. He wanted it, and he liked it, so I said, okay, you can have it.
Very good.
And stuff. So but that's what I've been working on here lately. Everything else I've got is already been gone. So this project.
10-4. I'm glad you can make it. And that's very unique. I like that. Okay, let me get back to
Yeah. It looks just like it.
It's good. Nice.
Plum nifty. Thank you very much, Mr. Russ Meadows. By the way, I don't believe you got around to introducing yourself officially.
Not. Russ Meadows, Russ Up, and y'all can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Find me there. I'm looking for Chris Ahern for that beer he owes me.
Oh God! Now he's down at the pub or at the lake or something.
And I promise one time not to hit that button to block Lee Knight again.
Yeah, that was a hoot. The audio for me skipped, so I'm going to repeat. He said Rusty Nails Wood Shop or Workshop.
Right.
Okay,
Wood
and
shop.
that is with a Z, just to be clear. And thank you very much, Russ.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have this guy I have to throw in there because he's on the panel, even though he's really mean. Mr. Russ Clarity.
I'm not mean.
Okay.
There ain't
Nicely challenged.
there ain't a mean bone in my body. Come on. Anyway, yeah, I do a lot of different stuff. So let's see where we start. David Gunn was here and showed off what his kid made. My grandson made this here the other day on the scroll saw.
Very cute.
Yep, I put the pattern on there and handed it to him, and he jumped on the scroll saw and took off. So, well, I could bored the holes with the drill, but he jumped on it and took off. So, yeah, so I'm real proud of that. Him and my granddaughter are now in there. But anyway, I do a lot of different stuff. I mean, this is some CNC stuff I've been working on. This is a little grocery list, and this is a cork board, so you can use a push pin in it.
Very cool.
That's one of the things I've done on a CNC. Here's another little CNC project.
Wow. What kind of wood is that? Or is that a faux finish kind of thing?
No, it's oak.
That is beautiful. Excuse the mess. I make sawdust here. Sweet.
And then I just made this the other day playing around. I'm trying to make a little name thing.
Cool.
That looks neat.
Yeah, did that on the CNC. I'll do the CNC projects first.
That's mine.
Batman. Hi, I'm Batman.
Hello, Batman. Welcome to the show.
One of my favorite CNC projects that I did.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like it. Of course, I'm into bones and skeletons and stuff.
It's kind of like a three-dimensional hand.
Absolutely. Very nice.
And
you put that outside the bathroom, do you?
Yeah. Enter if you dare after I've been in there.
Yeah. We probably shouldn't take that any further, but okay.
Move on to some scroll saw stuff.
Oh, you do scroll saw work? Sorry, you're breaking up, Russ. We can't quite make that out. I'm
That's
so
a Florida
sorry.
gator. And then I just did this pattern and I gave it away for 4th of July.
Cool.
And then I had to compete with myself. I did one on the CNC and I had to do one on the scroll saw.
Batman again.
So that's pretty good. And then
did you design that?
I think I did.
I thought it was either.
This thing is like really, really old. In all sincerity, this thing is like about 15 years old.
That's quite artistic in more ways than one. It just
Yeah, this is really really old.
Like something you would see in a store.
Probably done when I first got my first. No, it was after that. But anyway, when I got my Craftsman scroll saw that was able to do non-pin blades, right after I had that for a while is whenever I was able to design and do this.
Was that done with food coloring?
Yeah, no, that's actually, I took like oil-based paint that you do paintings with.
Oh, like acrylic paint, yeah.
Yeah, and I took it and I mixed it with some mineral spirits to get it to the consistency I wanted, and did it with that.
So to translate in Russ's terms, he did that when he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Yeah. And then I do crosses.
Cool. I know y'all keep hearing me say cool and neato and all that stuff. I'm trying to acknowledge everybody showing their stuff, so I don't want to just sit here quiet when somebody shows something. Firefighter cross. Very nice.
That looks familiar, Russ. That might be mine.
What, that pattern?
That's my design.
Is it?
Pull that up again.
Holy monkey.
That's my design, I think. Yes, it is.
Yay, Lee.
I don't remember. I've done this so long ago, I don't remember where I got it from or where it came from. Because I've been making them for quite some years. But then I got into into turning. This is a lidded box that I turn.
Cool. What kind of wood is that?
This is mahogany.
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 Wow. That's neat. Looks good.
Thank you. And then a few bowls.
I love the grain on that one and the shine. That is gorgeous.
You know, I could probably do some of those if I hadn't gave away my lathe.
This is one of my favorite natural edge bowls right here.
It is neat. I like it.
That's cool.
And this is solid cherry.
Another beautiful finishing grain.
Yep, this is solid cherry.
So I take it you're a fan of the burn lines.
Yeah, I like them. I think they look cool.
It adds a decent amount of character to stuff.
And then let me screen share before I get off here, just to show people that I do. I've done cabinets and bookcases and stuff throughout the years. I don't have a lot of pictures of them because back then you never thought about taking pictures. But I'm going to screen share and show you some stuff. Oh, let me.
They had cameras back then?
Yeah, really. Well, I got to find out.
I owe you a few digs, just throwing that out there.
They developed them on tin, didn't they?
Yeah. Anyway, this is on my website. I've got a bunch of stuff up there on my website. Oh, I do pins also. This is a bunch of pins that I have done.
SimplyWoodenCreations.com.
Yep. More wall art. All kinds of stuff I've done throughout the years.
Nice variety.
Word art.
Word.
Holiday stuff. More crosses. You can go to simplywoodencreations.com and see all this stuff. Some of my creations. But what I really wanted to show was off the other items. This is a shelf I made for my daughter for her bathroom. It had to be, her husband is handicapped, so they cannot have any, like the sink is on the wall. The toilet is a handicap. The shower is like where he can wheel in on his wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
And so it had to be sit between the sink and the toilet and be a specific dimension and everything. She has no place other than shelves to put stuff like the towels and wash rags and stuff in the bathroom because he has to have places to move it. So I built this and designed it to sit in between the toilet and the sink. And this is done with like 6 coats of polyurethane to be able to take the humidity in the bathroom. And this is like 3 years old, I think it is right now.
Very, very shiny.
Yeah, it's held up really, really well. She said there's no problem. And then this is done. My grandson was only about 2 years old, and he's 8 now. So I did this like 6 years ago for my grandson, Gage. Those are actually like some of these are leaves, but some of them are like deer tracks going up the like the front. Those are like deer tracks going up the front.
And Gage is the one that did that smiley face, right?
Yeah, he's the one that did the smiley face. And then every year we would have, this is Gage. Every year we entered the Plant City Strawberry Festival Baby Parade. And what you did was built a float and the baby sit on it. And for 3 years, I don't have the third one, but you're only allowed to be in it for 3 years. And for 3 years in a row, we won. Every time we entered, we won the baby parade. So this is one of the floats we did.
You built that barn thingy?
Yeah, we built the entire float.
That is too cool.
Yep.
Did you use pallet wood on that?
Yes, that is pallet wood.
That is
Pretty
cool.
neat job. I like it. That's really good.
Yep, we did. That's all pallet wood. And yeah. So you can see a lot of my like the sign there is I scroll sawed and on the scroll saw. Then this is the second, the other one we did. He's the strawberry
Cowboy Gage.
Strawberry Sheriff. And this wanted poster, you can't see it, but the wanted poster is of the Strawberry Queen. Every year they have a queen of the, Strawberry Festival. It says wanted, for the, that's just the Queen's picture.
Cool.
And there is one more. There was a wagon, a full-blown horse-drawn wagon that we built.
Wow.
And covered it with canvas and everything. That's the one I don't have pictures, but we did all 3 years in a row. Matter of fact, the last year that we were there, some of the people came up and said, since this is your third year, y'all can't enter anymore next year. And we were like, yep, right. And they said, good.
They're just jealous, dagnabbit.
Yeah, good. And then this is the shop sign I made for the front of my shop.
I've heard of that before.
And that's actually straight out of everything is straight out of
Compton.
The wording that I use, but that's just some of the other stuff that I.
Now, did you design most of the stuff you make, Russ?
Yes. Most of the stuff I do, I design. Now, I can't take credit for like this because that's the Batman emblem. I got it off the internet and just made it where I could scroll it, traced it out where I could scroll it. And I can't do anything with it. I can't sell the pattern because it's a trademark thing, but I can just make it for myself and show it off. Stuff like that. And then the same thing with the gator, for instance. It's a Florida gator image. So if I was to try to do anything with that, that's a copyrighted trademark type of thing. So I'd get in trouble with that. It's just, I made it for myself, so to speak.
Alrighty then.
I think that's pretty well it.
Okay, I'm going to screen share real quick. I'm not showing off projects. I just, and the show will run long because I want to give everybody equal time. So I hope the viewers will stand with us. I just wanted to show something real quick. It's a real quick self-promotion thing. I have come out with 3 new DVDs for any of those that are into the instructional how-to DVDs. I have 2 on, the pictures you see on the cover are the free pattern. But I'll also show you step by step how I do them and the thought process that goes into it, as well as that's volume 1 and volume 2 of horses, as well as facial hair. And I will, if I can remember, I will put it in the description of this broadcast to let you know where to find them. But I hope for your support. And I have a total of 6 DVDs out now, and these are the latest 3 just released, I believe, just a couple days ago. But that's the end of my plug-in. So let me get back to the Hoosier What's It deal. Hello. Stop presenting or stop sharing, whatever the case may be. We're going to move on over to lead night of Scroller's Choice magazine. Let me present you. And I'd like to thank all the viewers for sticking with us.
Yes. Hello. As Shirley said, I'm Lee Dyden. I'm with Scroller's Choice magazine. If you guys haven't yet checked out the magazine, make sure you guys go over to our website, which is right there. It's scrollerschoicemag.wixsite.com/home. And you guys can check out all our magazines that we have. Our most current issue is the one that's in my hand, and the mic and the camera froze again.
It always does that when you hold up that magazine. I think you planned it that way.
So this is something you guys can see. There's the Intarsia car, and you guys can check this out on the website as well. And we've got it yearly in print inside the United States, and then outside the United States yearly in PDF. But you can also, even though you live in the United States, you can still get PDF in the United States. We just do it that way because we don't ship outside the United States for print.
You hear that, folks overseas? They don't discriminate. Discriminate's not the right word, but in other words, a lot of people can't do things outside of the U.S., but you can get a PDF version. And real quickly on Lee's behalf, usually his show is on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, but this week it's going to be on a Tuesday. He's going to have Bruce Worthington, an Intarsia designer.
Yeah, it's going to be Tuesday night at the same time, same bat channel, because Bruce will be on and we'll be doing Intarsia for the evening.
And after that week, you'll be going back to Mondays, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is this coming Tuesday. Go ahead.
You guys can see over my shoulder here. Here's a few of my projects. This lion right here is probably one of my maybe third or fourth pattern design that I did after I figured out how to actually make scroll saw patterns. So by trial and error, that's probably the closest to the one that I have. That's one of my first ones I actually ever cut of my own. The one down here underneath this is my eagle. You guys can see here, I cut him out of a tree bark slice. I got this at Michael's. I'm not sure how much it was, but it's just real soft pine.
Is that your design? If not, I think it's Tom Mullane. He's no longer with us, but old Grizz.
No,
old Grizz
Tom's.
scroll art.
Yeah, it's Tom's. And then there's my cross that I have here, which is just the wedding cross. I actually got this out of a book, which is somewhere in this closet. It's not my design. This, however, you can see is actually mine. This is my dragon. You guys can kind of see him.
Yes, sir.
And he's actually my design. So you guys can check him out.
And where can people get your designs? I know you have some with PS Wood Machines, but where do you have a website where you sell?
Yeah, but because of the magazine, I haven't been doing much with my website, so I need to go through and revamp the whole thing. Because this magazine keeps me so busy. But you guys can see over my head, there's Dorothy. She's on the back of my saw there. And my camera just turned off again.
Yeah, I was to say we lost your picture. I believe that's a Gary Browning design back there.
Yeah, it's probably is. And this here is my Halloween mummy. This was just an image I got off of Google, and then I hodgepodged him, or Mod Podge, whatever you want to call it. And he's actually cut just on MDF. I used him for when I don't have an apartment now, but back when I had my house before this, I used him outside in the yard for Halloween. And then I made a pumpkin that's slightly bigger than him, which is in my car still.
And a very cute little mummy.
And I made a ghost. So I got sick of going to Party City and paying all that money for Halloween decorations, and I figured I'd just make my own. So that's the result of that.
Very cool. All right, not to rush, is that the end of your presentation, sir?
Well, and then hang on real quick. I wanted to screen share just for a second.
Info.
And I want to show Russ this real quick.
Don't worry, Shane and Shelley. We'll get back to you, I promise.
So there you go, Russ. I just look familiar for you.
Mine's a little different, though.
Are you sure?
Well, there's a pipe pole at the top. You don't have a pipe pole on yours. What's your... I can't see it. You quit screen sharing.
We'll look at it afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right. All right, thank you very much, Lee. Stop presenting. Going to move on over to Shane and Shelley Cole. If y'all don't mind quickly introducing yourselves.
To introduce yourselves, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Shelley Cole. Some of you know me as Mom. I'm from the YouTube channel Know What Mom Knows.
And hi, everybody. I'm Shane, her worst half. You can find me over at Shane's Hobby Shop.
Thank y'all very much for being here, and I know Shelly was very excited about doing this show.
If you want to show me off.
Something like that.
No.
Go ahead, Shelly. I know you're
Start
itching.
then?
Absolutely.
I think
Okay.
he meant throw you off instead of show you off. Is that right?
I thought it was going to be a dig on me because I'm so used to it. Go ahead, Shelly.
Well, hi everyone. Well, first off, on the channel Know What Mom Knows on YouTube, you haven't seen me around for about the last 5 months, and actually I've been missing everywhere for about the last 5 months. And just real quick on that, I had a YouTuber blackmail me and had to go through some different things, and actually it was all over one of my videos. And why this was so important to me is because the video that this was all over was the hand tool challenge that was done at the time of when Woodby Wright, when James Wright did his first challenge for making a hand tool. And that was a pinnacle, kind of like top for me. And that was a pinnacle of no return. I made a chisel, and the chisel, the little metal part, the chisel was made from a recycled little barbecue that was broken and it was just thrown away. So I made the chisel part from the barbecue, and the handle part I made completely out of sawdust.
Go, girl.
And so for me, that was a point of no return. It changed me, let's just say. And so I was fighting to get that video back, and I got it back. The moment I got it back, I probably got it back about a week ago or so.
Yeah.
The moment I got my video back, I turned everything off on it, and so I'm going to take everything out of it that was a problem. But I'm sure I'll talk about that in a future video. So I am now back. I was also gone because I am disabled and I had health issues. So for one, I have a paralyzed leg. So everything that I do in the shop requires my qualified service provider to help me, which is also my husband, Shane Cole. So this last 5 months, I needed to take a break from things. And
well, you have been missed, Shelly, very much. We all miss you.
So I am officially back making videos. And one thing I would like to say about the 5 months that I've been gone and resting and things like that, the one area that I have not stopped participating in is woodworking. And when I say that, a defined area of sawdust. So let me explain that real quick. I'm not going to go and show all the projects I've done on my channel. I'm just going to go ahead and show one item that I did on my channel, and then talk about what I'm going to do now going into the future, because my channel is about to change. So for a baseline, my whole channel has had a spattering of different projects dealing with sawdust. And I now call this Sawdusto. It's a special art that I've developed, the Sawdusto art system.
Copyright Shelly Cole.
Yeah, TM. And the reason why I believe this is going to change the woodworking community as a whole is I've taken this very seriously over the last 2 years, even before I got into YouTube. Okay, I've already been messing around with sawdust. And so everything that you've seen on my channel, all the little sawdust recipes and things I've done on my channel, the projects I've done, have changed, and I've done testing. I've taken notebooks full of information and done test after test, and it's been wild. We've had little sawdust projects all over the house doing my test. It is now to a final concluded end of perfection, and I'm so excited about it. It's in a wrapper right here. This is Sawdusto, and it's a very special product. And let me tell you real quick, it is not anything but sawdust and a special homemade glue. The glue and the sawdust together are very important. And it's not so much the glue and the sawdust, but I have found out it is the technique of bringing it all together. Because I through my trials, I found that you can take sawdust and glue and put it together, and the project's a piece of crap. So it's the how you put things together that is almost as more important as the recipe itself. And so this is what it looks like. It's tacky, yet not really sticky. And
kind of like woodworker's Play-Doh.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, except that, believe it or not, this is wood. It's an incredible wood. It's like a upcycle of the product of woodworking. And what I mean by that is we have all this sawdust in our shops, and that's what got me going. Is there's this wave of upcycling across the nation. It's like, upcycle, come on, everybody, grab this, recycle, upcycle. And I'm like, nobody's really doing anything with sawdust. And why is that? And I did find a few things online. I did not reinvent the wheel, as in people taking sawdust, adding glue, making slapping it together. And I saw a few things on the internet. I saw some masks being made, and I saw some turtles being made, a few odds and end thingies like that. But nothing, how do I say it? Nothing defined, nothing high end. And I thought, how can I take sawdust and bring it to a high end level? And so I'm about to show you that. So that's just a little recap of what's going on my channel. This is the one project I was gonna show you. One of the first, actually this is the second project I ever made on my channel. This is a cracker box. And these are sawdusto beads, okay, that I made at the time. And let's see if I can get it any closer.
They are actually hardened up.
Yeah, they're nice and hard, and they're decorative beads that go on your project, okay? See how this one moves a little bit? I've refined the process and the recipe since this. So this recipe is obsolete. This is no more. This was an excellent recipe. This was my first real recipe that, like, wow, it's going somewhere. It's making sense. Okay, but for example, this was made with sawdust, bread.
Don't give away your secret, girl.
Dishwashing liquid, glycerin. This had a whole bunch of different things in it. And so it was good, but it wasn't perfect. And what happened with all the sawdust doughs that I made in the past, what happened that I kept finding is everything kept shrinking and cracking. Yeah. And over and over again, shrink, crack, shrink, crack. And it's like, oh, that was not good. That's not high end. And although this will have a very minimal shrinkage, it will have some shrinkage. It's going to happen because it's a wet product. It will shrink enough that it's dries, but it won't have the cracking problem, which is so important. And I'm sorry if my fingers are turning blue a little bit. For an example, here is something that I've made with this new sawdusto, and I call it sawdusto, spelled with all capitals, and it's not sawdust dough. I can't do it in my head if I say
Copyright Shelley Cole.
I have to write down. Sawdusto is spelled SADUSDO. And you have to say it with accent. Sawdusto. That's how it's said. Sawdusto. It's all in capitals, TM, because TM. Anyway, for an example, this is one. Let me get it in the center, kind of. How about like this?
We see it. That's very nice.
This is one thing that I've made. Okay, this is just a leaf All right, and made some jewelry with it. All right, just for an example here for tonight, okay?
All right.
And I think I might even showed it on a past show at one point, so I've just kind of kept it around. But, all right, so I've showed that. That's just one thing you can do. But right now, going forward, every video that I put out will have some sort of sawdusto with it, unless it's a specified project that has nothing to do with sawdusto that I can't include it, you know. But like right now I already have made videos. They're done. I already have several videos that are completed. My problem is the editing part, and Shane has volunteered to edit my stuff. I don't feel comfortable with that because it's kind of my baby. So
Yep.
I'm slow at it, and the reason why I have trouble with it is because I have this chronic fatigue syndrome where I only sleep for, I'm not going to go into all this, but because of my injury, I got injured top of my head, at the bottom of my feet. I only sleep for 2 hours at a time, about 1.5 to 2 hours at a time. And then I'm up for anywhere from another hour to 2 hours before even being able to fall asleep. So I have a really hard time with sleep and concentration and everything. So editing a video is like really hard for me. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. So I'm going to show you some things that I'm working on. I'm not going to show you the completed project. I'm not even going to give my recipes out tonight because I want you to come see my videos, of course. But what is cool is you're going to see some examples. I'm going to show you something that I have. This is called sawdusto veneer. You see how wiggly that is? That's all sawdust.
Dude,
okay?
I have a real quick public thing. I think, I mean, I don't know what your plans are, but I think you should hold on to your recipe unless you've already shared it, because that's your thing. That's your baby. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not telling you how to do your channel. Yeah. Please don't get that wrong. I just think, you know, you've just reached a major milestone. That's kind of, like you said, your trademark. Mm-hmm. Don't take me literally on this, but you could bank on that. Make that your baby. And I'm afraid if you gave out the recipe, then you kind of get lost in the fog, and you don't deserve that for all the work you put into it. That's just my opinion.
I would give out the recipe. Yeah. I think I would hang on it and then talk to somebody about even if it's that you might be able to sell it. There's, you know, have it manufactured.
Dan Inge wants to know when you're going to go on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
and again, Kelly.
I do. I can get I'm going to be buying a machine in the future. I found, I think it's called a drum sander, but it's a specialized drum sander that crafters would use. And I can get my my sawdust down to
330 seconds.
Yeah, 3/32 of an inch.
Wow. And for it to still hold together, that's saying something.
Yeah.
I can do that rolling it out, hand rolling. I think this, I didn't even measure this one beforehand. This one might be 1/16.
Once it becomes hard, is it waterproof?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Once it becomes hard, is it waterproof?
No, but I'll explain why that's important. For example, this is called the plank. You hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
How hard that is? Like that, okay? This is the same recipe as this. However, it's the technique that's so important. The recipe is so important, and the technique. But that's why I really want to take time to show people how to do this, because you can do so many different things with this. This is a building supply, and so is this. And for an example, I have to say too, there's a rule that I've created, and I figure it's fair. I've created this. My rule is the colorings cannot be artificial, not at all. Because, and here's my thinking, it's called recycling, it's called upcycling. It's from a tree. A tree is natural. I wanted to be fair to the tree. So you must use dried ground herbs, spices, dried roots, like you can dry carrots, you can dry madder root powders. There's all kinds of dried roots you can do. Dried rock, like micas. So for example, this is a milk chocolate. This is made out of chocolate. Okay, this is chocolate and sawdust.
Wow.
And it is awesome. This is chocolate. Let's see. This here is a mica. This is a red mica. And this here is, I wonder if I have it with me. No, this one's a yellow mica. But usually I take, I'll be showing in my videos, I love taking herbs and spices and flowers, and I grind them up that are all dried, and I add it, and it colors it. It's awesome. So
Shelly, please know that my intentions were to back you up and let. I don't know how to word it. I hope you don't think that I was telling you what direction to take your channel in. That was not my intention. I was.
Oh, I understand.
He wants 50% of the profit.
You just want 50%, right?
No, not at all. I mean,
I don't play like. He said that.
In other words, if you're, I get that. If your game plan was to introduce the recipe, you know, then more power to you. I would just offer my opinion, and I probably should have done it privately.
Yeah, but, I agree. Once you let the cat out of the bag, it's hard to put him back in. So once you tell everybody how you made it and what formula and how you do it, then it don't make it unique, and somebody can run some company before you. And
well, in fact, Katie Dotson is out there saying that getting something patented is hard, but you should look into it.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I think I would. I just think I would carry it further
really
before
weird,
you.
I love the community so much.
Yeah, but somebody from the community can take your idea and steal it and make it and patent it, and then you're out in the wind.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I never thought of this as a moneymaker. I thought of it as more of a gift to the community, because it would be such an honor and privilege if I were to start seeing people make things with my recipe and actually create masterpieces. It would be an honor. It would be an honor. I think it's something that needs to happen for the community. I look at it, it's bigger than me. That's why I'm not looking at this as a moneymaker. I'm looking at this as it's bigger than me. I found a way to make sawdust be something more than briquettes. You know, oh, let's barbecue something, or
in the end, it's your decision, most definitely.
I found a way to use sawdust and to make a high-end product.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'll think about everything y'all said, but so far I'm thinking I want to give this as a gift to the community, because I think everyone should be using their sawdust more than throwing it away. I don't know.
I'll send mine
I'll
to
think
you.
about it. I'll just keep going here. You see how there's triple layers here?
Yes, ma'am.
One of the coolest things I have discovered is the layering systems that you can make. I call it plywood, but it's not. I call it plywood sawdusto, because when I add different colors together, it's like a plywood, except that the sawdust has no directions, no grain pattern. But like, for example, I did this on the scroll saw before I came here tonight, and you can see how you can make some really awesome things. Like, let's see here. See how that goes back together? Can you imagine doing like a puzzle for somebody that has an awesome inside? That's just an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. But you can do things. And one of the things that I want to name, I'm going to name off the things that I do, is here, I'll just start. I will be showing, and I have to read it, I'm sorry. I will be showing, I have to read my own writing. I will be showing and teaching with tutorials. The hope is on my channel, and like I said, I've already made several videos. They're just in editing right now, okay? Tools, showing how to make handles like I did with my chisel. And I know that Russell Clarity, he showed that toy box that had gauge on it. Well, all the little side like shapes and the appliques on the side, you can definitely cut these out and make appliques for toolboxes, for dressers. You can use them as appliques. You can either decorate picture frames with this, or you can make picture frames with this. Because as you can see, it's very, very sturdy. It's very sturdy. So you can make picture frames with this, which I will be showing. You can build things with it. I have a little dresser that I've made completely out of sawdusto. Okay. So all out of sawdusto.
How does it cut, like on the scroll saw and stuff? Does it cut fine? Like a.
Pardon me?
How does it cut?
Yeah, it cuts perfect. It cuts like wood. It cuts just like wood on a scroll saw. It works on a bandsaw, and it works on a table saw, coping saws. It's awesome.
Very fine cut on it.
Yeah.
No splintering.
You don't have to.
Now you do have to wear a mask for sure.
Right. Because, well,
Go ahead.
it was dust and you're turning it back into dust when you're cutting it.
Except that, I use paprika on one of them, and when I did the paprika, you have to for sure wear to get that color red orange. You use paprika. I used jalapeno one day. Never use jalapeno. Warning: don't use jalapeno. I did that.
It was a nice green color.
Nice green color. Don't do it. Let's see. You can use it in the place of paint, and I will show that what I mean in a future video. And by the way, this, where is it? Is my baseline. This is the baseline sawdusto. This mixture here, meaning there's sawdusto mixtures from the same recipe that go this way and that go this way. And you'll see in my videos. Let's see. You can veneer tables in projects. You can literally veneer things with this. It's incredible. You can make Christmas decorations. You can use scroll saw decorations, make scroll saw things. I will show you how you can make handles and knobs for like doors. You can cover, you can make this. This is a knife.
Well, just to let you know, like myself, Charles, and some of the others that have expressed their opinion, just about everybody in the chat section out there is saying the same thing we do, or we're saying, is to not give out the formula yet and to protect it. They're all saying the same thing over and over and over. And
I have to think about that one.
Your fans
Shelley,
are spoken.
We get that you want to give back to the community, and nobody is faulting you for that. We just think all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into this, you deserve what can come of it. Even though you're not looking to bank off of it, you may have had a very nice baby here. Again, it is in the end, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But take in mind, the community is the one that's back behind you. Although it would be a very sweet gift to the community, that community knows you deserve it, and that's what we're trying to say.
Well, like Katie Dotson's saying out there too, is somebody could take just the name and trademark it, and then you can't use it anymore. You know, you'd be better off trademarking the name, find out about patenting it, and don't tell anybody anything until you know where you stand.
And if we have to, I will start a GoFundMe to help. I am dead serious, because I know this community adores you, and I think the community would be behind you 100%.
I was going to sound really weird, but I'll say it. Being disabled and older, I'm not young, and being disabled, I feel like I have nothing to gain except the joy of making these things and sharing it with people. So, see what I'm saying? It's hard to, although I love the name Sawdusto so much, it feels like it's right for this. It's not sawdust dough, it's Sawdusto.
With an accent. I understand, Paul. Thank you for coming.
Night, everybody.
Take it easy, Paul.
If anybody on the panel needs to go, I understand. Go ahead, Joe.
I'll finish my list and I'll be done. So, You can use it for building materials, like I said, make small toys, knickknacks. Onlays, you can make appliques, like I said. Okay, there's an inlay process. 2 types of inlays. There's a wet inlay and a dry inlay. That's awesome with this. So, you can make jewelry, beads, like I showed the necklace. I can make all kinds of things with jewelry. Anything you can do. It's very similar to polymer clay, but I want to be careful with that because the polymer clay community is as strong, if not stronger, than woodworking. No, I want to say it's stronger. They're like knit. They're like close, and they're really guarded, the polymer clay people. So I don't want to even get near that. But I do want to say it is similar in you handle it, and I'll talk about that in my videos. That you have to handle it. You have to do pre-things to it, like pre this, pre that, post this, post that, to get it to work right.
You're doing a good job at revealing without giving away too much. I like that.
Wall
the
art.
Consistency of it is, I believe Lee Knight is asking. I could be wrong, but it's kind of like Play-Doh, like we established, right?
It's like a Play-Doh, but it's.
Oh, he's asking after it's hardened, I think.
It's very similar to Play-Doh, and if anybody else is joining, this is 100% sawdust, not with no bread in there, no paper mache, no anything. It's sawdust with a homemade glue. That is it. And so I know anybody can say, oh, I'll do it now. I got it. Trust me, I have done 2 years of experimenting with just taking random glues, and it just wasn't ever there. You'll find it bubbles, you'll find it cracks, it shrinks, all kinds of weirdo things happen. And I am a chef first. I'm a professional chef. And so I use that to my, the science behind, because there's lots of science with cooking. I used my science background with what I'm doing, and I put it together, and I made a glue that is so strong that I took my sawdust glue, and we put it through some boards, right? And he tried his best to break it apart, and he couldn't.
Yeah, couldn't break
wasn't
it
it that the board itself broke?
The board itself
Yeah.
broke, but not the sawdust.
Not the glue part. So it's a strong glue.
So what they're wanting to know, after it dries,
Mhm.
what is the consistency of it? What does it feel like?
This is a veneer. Leather. Okay, there you can.
Yeah, good leather.
Leather. It feels like leather, and it also feels like cork. And
thicker it is, the harder.
Yeah.
And the thicker it is, the harder it gets. Okay. And then when you layer it, like this is layered. Layering is like synergy. Synergy. I love that word, synergy. It means 2 or more equal. Like when we have 1 + 1 = 2 or more. That's what synergy means. So, like this and this together is actually 2 or more. That means it's stronger together, and the layers, just like in plywood, just plywood is stronger together. So it's a cork kind of feel, leather. In fact, I've looked up lots of leather making projects to copy because it works. It feels like leather, and you can work it like leather. Yes, when you get it wet, it will dissolve. That's important. You like, why don't I just use a special glue that protects it?
Yeah. Waterproof.
It changes the consistency to the point where it doesn't work the same.
But what you can do is after you use that and make whatever project you want to make out of it, put a sealer coat on it.
Sealer.
Boom, it's all hard.
Like this is not going anywhere. You can run this underwater. You can run this underwater and run it for a long time. It's not going to go anywhere. It's sealed. Okay.
So it's only when it's thin that it's not waterproof?
It's not waterproof here either. This has no sealant on it. This is plain sawdust though. No waters on it. No water. No sealer. I'm sorry. No sealer on here. No sealer on here. If you get this wet, it will dissolve. It'll take a little bit of time because it's not just going to, it's not going to just dissolve.
Yeah. Okay. So with a sealer, it is water. What you call it? proof.
It's not waterproof. It's whatever the other word. It's not waterproof. But when you put sealer on it, it is waterproof because you can put sealer on anything and make it waterproof, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
Now here's the most
water.
The coolest things that for me personally, that I enjoy is intarsia and marquetry. And just think for a second, you know, marquetry uses veneers, and you can make veneers. You can make veneers with this and all different colors. And so marquetry is awesome. That's where I don't even know how to explain what marquetry is, but you take a picture and all the parts of the picture is usually different woods, right? That come together, that are cut out either on a scroll saw or coping saw. You cut out and you put together, and you can inlay it in a table or onlay it on tables or in pictures. But this is a little different than straight marquetry, but the same. And let me explain. Because I've already found where you can make kind of like this. This is, you see how this looks like wood grain almost, kind of sloppy wood grain, but it was more experimental back in those days. I didn't know what I was doing. But you can make marble. You can make it look like marble. You can make it look like wood grain. You can make the dough change forms. You can put stripes in it, and that's what's cool about it, is you can make the dough be what you want it to be.
And can you make it in larger boards for bigger projects?
Larger boards. Now the biggest ones I have made is, the biggest boards I've personally made is gallon size bread bag size. You know, like you take a gallon bag and a gallon baggie is about, this is 8.5 by 11. I think the biggest one I've made is like 11 by 11. 11 by 11. So can you make bigger sheets? You probably can. I have not been able to figure out how. Here's a picture. Now, do y'all know who this is?
Not me.
Does anybody know who that is? First person is the winner.
Podcast co-host, Alan.
This is Alan Robinson, the woodworking junkie.
Winner.
Now, who said that first? Who said
Jamie
that?
Page.
Russell?
My podcast co-host.
This is a project that's going to be my first video coming out. I believe I'm putting that as my first one. I have to decide which one's going to be first, but you're going to see me do something like this. It's just awesome. I scroll sawed. You see this part, the brown part right, the face?
The shadow.
The shadow. I made, well, for today, okay, I made some chocolate sawdusto. And you see how thin that is? But let me put it together real quick.
Shelley, I mean no
I don't know how well it's gonna stick, but
I mean
let's
no
see.
disrespect whatsoever, but if we can try to wind it down somewhat shortly, please understand. I'm not. No. Please show it. Please show it. I'm not trying to burst your bubble. I swear. Please no.
Yeah, I know.
Feel free.
I get it. You're on a live show, and
No.
I'm just so excited.
No,
about
I applaud your excitement. Please don't take that personally. Please show what you were going to show. I just, man, if we could sort of head towards
I'll
the
finish
stuff.
up, and then I know he wants to show some stuff, and we'll.
No, I got nothing.
You
It's all yours.
do. I'm almost.
Shelley, please don't
You
take
see
that
how
personally. Please do. Please.
I put this on the scroll saw, and I'll show you guys my technique. You see this cardboard? This is a cereal box. I collect cereal boxes and cracker boxes and everything, and I use these. I take my sawdusto veneer and I glue it to the cardboard, or with fabric spray or something, and I put my pattern on top of that, and I will run that through the scroll saw for the thin veneer. Okay, that works great. You can run this through the scroll saw by itself. However, it bounces around, okay? So if you have something to stabilize it, it works great. you can go ahead and put it right on the wood. This is just like a 1/4-inch oak plywood here, okay? You know, so you can use wood, of course, but I'm just saying the minimum. You want to put it on cardboard. The plank sawdust though can run through perfect as if it were wood. I mean, this is probably like 3/16. I don't know. Anyway, this runs through perfectly. Not a problem. I'm going to wrap it up because I just want to say, be watching my channel, everybody, for some videos. Just want to end it by saying I'm super slow at editing. Slow. But when they start rolling, watch out.
Shelley,
Here's some glasses.
Some people in the chat, and I echo this, and I know the panel does. We're as excited as you are, and we're happy to see you this excited. So please know I was not trying to cut you short intentionally.
No, I do realize that this show is running late. This is a long show, and I probably took 2 hours of it right now. My apologies to everybody else. So.
Jim Bashir says he wished you were that excited about making us brownies. And
I am. I do get excited about that. I'm gonna color done because it's not fair to my husband and everybody else.
I got nothing to show.
You do. You were gonna show your thing. Show your one thing.
It's okay. We're 2 hours in.
Well, people are telling me I worry too much, and they're right. So, by God, do what you got to do.
I'm done on my end for now.
Oh, I feel like a pit bull now.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm the scum of the earth. Thank you so much, Shelley.
No. I forget myself. I've been just so passionate. Passionate is the word. I eat.
That is a beautiful thing.
I've been eating sawdust. I wrote a song about sawdust. That's how passionate I'm a singer. I wrote a song about sawdust, and I'm hoping to find a musician who will work with me to. I want to get it. Now that I would put a TM on it. That my song.
My God.
I love it. But anyway,
you're basically recycling sawdust, or reclaiming sawdust. What about Tim Sway?
Pardon me?
What about Tim Sway? You're upcycling sawdust.
I would take anybody who wants to work with me, but they have to want to work with me.
I think a lot of us will if
sure
you'll have
everyone
us.
would.
Katie Dotson is saying that she understands what I'm doing. But she said one suggestion for Shelley: send Russell Clarity a pen blank and see how it turns.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sorry. I've got collaborators. I have a collaborator. I think it's okay. It's fair enough at this time. I brought it up a year ago, and everybody's like, who you collaborating with? And I didn't feel right to bring it up then. But Wood by Right and I are collaborating.
Awesome.
So it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys will have to wait for this all to come together. But
okay,
yeah.
if you do come up with that song, everybody's saying don't let Russ sing it. I love it.
Don't let Russ sing it. I hope everyone wants to sing it. I hope it's a great tune.
Just give me Sawdusto.
No, it's a surprise.
Yeah, sing us out.
No, it's a surprise.
Sawdusto.
And
Copyright
guys,
Shelley Cole.
I have different voices, and so when I sing my Sawdust song, when I sing my Sawdust song, I don't sing it in Shelley Cole. I sing it in The Nanny. Y'all know The Nanny. The older people know The Nanny.
Fran Drescher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sing it Nanny style. So.
Already.
I sing it Nanny style. So.
Shane, are you sure you do not want to show anything?
No, that's okay. It's already 2 hours.
I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Don't be sorry, darling. Everybody is feeling it with you. Okay, did I stop presenting? Yes, I did. Okay.
Yes, you did.
I'm done. Thank you, everybody.
Shelley, I'm telling you, you got the biggest
fan base.
Of course, now that I'm trying to come up with the word, I can't. Everybody's behind you on this, and your decision is what counts. But know that nobody was trying to. I know you know that. Dang it, you're right, folks. I do worry too much. I don't like to offend people.
I'm like you. I worry too.
I don't like to overstep or this and that, but my God,
do not offend me one whatsoever.
I love y'all. Sawdusto, copyrighted by Shelley Cole. And if anybody tries to steal that idea, by God, Dalton will be on your butt. Ask Patrick's Workshop about Dalton. I'm just saying. Real quickly, Jamie Page did join us, and since he came all the way from over the other side of the pond, we might as well let it at least introduce himself. And he can
don't worry about it. I'm irrelevant.
You're relevant, by God.
I said I'm irrelevant, not relevant.
No, I know. I said you are relevant, meaning I was contradicting what you said. Work with me here.
All right, okay. I'm on YouTube at JP Woodwork, Twitter and Instagram at JP_Woodwork. I'm on also be found at makersinternationalpodcast.com.
It's not an auction. You can slow down a little bit.
Well, I'll just get it over and done with. You're running out of time.
Well, it's already hard to say what you're saying because
I have to say it every week.
It's great having you here. I know you were helping Carl Jacobson, another awesome dude out there, and Robin Jacobson is his wife.
You can be found at thewoodshop.tv.
By God, and also on Twitch. I almost said tweet. Twitch. He does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or he changed it?
No, he's changed it now. Yeah, he's changed it to Mondays and Fridays.
10-4. Okay. We still have. Good God on a stick. I burp inward. Sorry, folks. All right. Well, we still have 22 viewers, and I believe we got a little over 30 at one point. And I thank everybody for their support for Shelly, their support for the show. Everybody on the panel, and appreciate everybody's patience and showing us the awesome things y'all do. And I know I worry too much, but I'm not worried about this. I just felt like, this panel off and on, there's different people that come on it, but they all deserve to be highlighted. And the show ran long, so be it. We got to highlight everybody here except for Shane Cole. So maybe next week we can get Shane Cole and Jamie Page. We'll split the show between them, by God, and we'll see which one.
Well, I thought you were supposed to be able to do something good to be highlighted.
Oh, son, I've seen your pallet cabinet. That thing was freaking awesome.
I think
That's what I wanted him to talk about.
You're a goofball for heck, right along there with me, but you do good work. That was, believe it or not, that was a side-handed compliment, or whatever the word is. Jamie Page is a goof, but he does good stuff. And I wanted to give him time.
I'm going to make a bass boat out of sawdust, though.
Oh, you're going to get Shane started. Good time to stop the show. But thank every one of y'all for watching. And again, right after the show is over, even while I'm babbling with all these folks, I'm going to put the link to the DVDs. All 6 DVDs are at the same link. I will put the link in the description of this show as soon as it uploads to YouTube. So I ask for your support, and thank you for the support you've already given me. Appreciate Rob Austin, Paul Corliss, Russ Clarity, Russ Meadows, John Schaffner, Jamie Page, Lee Knighton, Shane and Shelley Cole, and I'm Charles Deering. By God, scroll on.